Welcome to Cooperville, the Welcome to Cooperville podcast. Subscribe, get updates, feel better about your life. Welcome to Cooperville.com.
Welcome to Cooperville.
Make sure you use a coaster.
It is the Welcome to Cooperville podcast and live stream Twitch sessions from quarantine. I can't wait for this one. These are maybe two of my favorite people, if not in the world, then in Nashville, but we'll get to them in just 1 second. Do have to say huge thanks out to Midwest Meals, MidwestMeals.com, meal prep, all that stuff. You know, I've talked about this for the last year on this podcast. It's really what keeps me as now a single dad from doing dishes every single minute of every single day. Meals delivered to you. All your macros are counted on there. Check out MidwestMeals.com with 13 rotating meals and promo code Cooper for 10% off your first order at MidwestMeals.com. Violent Gentleman Hockey Club, ViolentGentleman.com. We got that 15% off deal going on because we know you're all missing out on the hockey season and the sadness is overwhelming, but at least you can represent with Violent Gentleman gear. Their ladies line is fantastic. Their enforced social distancing line is even better. Those guys are always on point. They're always pivoting and making great articles of clothing and gear and stickers and cool stuff. So check it out at violentgentleman.com. Promo code Cooperville15 for your 15% off that order. And Monster Energy, of course, as always, proud sponsor. I have a 10-year-old who's full of energy. I ran a half marathon today for some reason this morning. I'm not sure why, but it happened. And now I'm doing a live stream podcast. There's plenty of Monster flowing through my system right now. So Monster Podcast, always use that hashtag when you're jumping on board here on Twitch. Otherwise, when the podcast goes live, throw that hashtag down on the socials as well, because then they love me more, which is a great thing. Like I mentioned, two of maybe my favorite people in the world together, united. At least two of my favorite people in Nashville.
Well, that really narrows it down there, Coop.
We love you
That's
back.
I know like a handful of Nashvillians. Are you Nashvillians? Is that the word? What's the appropriate terminology for folks that live in Nashville?
Nashvillian is right.
Nashvillian?
I just called them the Nashvillans.
Nashvillans.
It's Nashvillian.
It does.
I'm a Nashvillan.
Oh my God.
Wow. Ooh,
She's all hard. COVID has made Jesslee hard, Coop.
Well, she's got those black eyes. You know, she's got it looks like she's
Exactly.
got devil eyes going on there. Okay, now we can see the whites. I like
She really has braids in her hair. She's shanking people. You know,
Wow.
she's gone hard over COVID.
Yeah, it's the real deal.
Man, things are rough down there, man. We gotta get this thing cleared up so we can get back to less shanking.
We started calling her Bobo, you know, it's a prison name.
No. We can't even go along with this anymore because if anybody comes on here and they're like, oh my God, we're watching some crazy girl shanking people, I don't want to be a part of this.
It's the black guys. The black guys gave it away.
Or they do.
Yeah,
or maybe they
Or
do.
maybe they're into that, which if you want me to be your shanking girl, I will. No, I'm just kidding.
We just entered a whole brand new kind of live stream. Right
You know,
now.
I think there's we're gonna set up a PayPal or some sort of account, and we can maybe not PayPal. That may be a little too over the table. We need to find some.
And then my mantra will be shank you.
Cue the Bill Withers.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. T-shirt idea.
Here we go. It's already.
No.
If you don't have a notepad and a pen like next to you during this, I mean, there's going to be so many great ideas that come out of this thing. I can't even begin.
Yeah, that's right. We might as well work for Apple R&D, bro.
All right.
Coming up with great ideas everywhere.
Paying bills. That's all we're doing here. Jesslee, Steve, Virginia, how are you guys doing? I talk to Steve all the time. Jesslee and I, like, you know, I just comment on, like, I have that same belt when she puts a picture on Insta. I'm like, I have that same belt. It's cool.
Yeah, I know. We're always matching. We just can't help it.
Basically twins.
I'm doing well. I was actually coming on here worried about you guys over there because last time we spoke, we had a tornado in our area, and then now there's a tornado in was a tornado in what's going on with that? Are you okay?
I'm good. That is a eerie coincidence. I was thinking about actually last night as it was happening, knowing that we had this coming up. I'm like, the last time before Jesslee and I spoke on a podcast, Nashville got hit really hard with a tornado. And then as my son and I are down in the basement and he's like geeking, freaking, and I'm like, there's something with every time we get on a podcast that bad weather happens. I don't know.
It was weird. I was like, I got to make sure he's okay now. And like, what a coincidence that like literally it was like either a day or two after that I always want to say hurricane. Gosh, I'm such a Florida girl.
Florida girl.
It was like 2 days after the tornado hit. And then when did it come through your guys' area?
Last night.
Oh my gosh.
We had, and it was really weird. I mean, up here, and maybe it's similar down there. If we have like a really hot day, then, the storms start to spur up. You get that humidity in the air. Yesterday was like, it was cool all day. It rained. It was kind of, I don't know, just a regular gloomy summer day here. And then all of a sudden, the afternoon, things started to fire up. And we had one touchdown about 3 miles west of us, and then another one that touched down a mile away, right by the lake over here. And
wow.
And once it passed us, it like beelined right for Cadott, which is where Country Fest is held every summer, except for this one. But the grounds are fine. I know they did that town did get hit pretty hard. There was some they were not allowing people into the city because power lines were down and trees were down. So it was a pretty hectic scene up there today. But I feel like it's the same, like Nashville and Wisconsin, and I'm sure other places in the country, when you have those kind of things that happened, like the community just over and above. I mean, I saw pictures of people out with chainsaws cutting trees out of people's homes and, carrying brush off. It was, really, it sucks that tragedy, it takes tragedy for, you be able to see the good in human beings that is still out there. But no, I think everybody was safe. They'll rebuild.
It's kind of that small town mentality in the South. It's the same as in Wisconsin, oddly enough. When I've played in Wisconsin more times than I can count, played music up there. And there's a similar mentality up there, like far north as there is down here, where everybody's very, very pro community and pro each other and very helpful. It was that way up in Michigan too. And so, there's probably a lot more similarities to the areas than we think.
I think tragedy for a lot of people is something that, especially when it's something that affects such a huge mass of people, it kind of almost unites us in a way, to be like, it doesn't matter. Like when it comes down to it, doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter what you have. Like Mother Nature is always going to win. There's always a force that's going to be bigger than all of us that unites us together. And you're never going to be able to escape that, And I think sometimes like when tragedy like that hits, it reminds people of that. And they're like, oh shit, we need to all be in this together and fix this. Cause that's the only way we're going to be able to get through it is as a unit,
Yeah, 100% agree. And I think, when you, not to like correlate like movies with this, but when you see like global things that could happen theoretically on a global scale, like let's say an asteroid was headed directly towards Earth. Like at what point are we like, hey, we're all good. Let's figure out this. And then we can get back to our own shit,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's funny how it does take things like that to make people realize that the things that they complain about are really, really pretty insignificant.
Yeah.
And so, it was like that around here too. It was, as soon as a tornado happened, everybody was helping each other out, and they were in each other's backyards, pulling trees out, and cutting trees down, and helping everybody do anything they needed. And so, tragedy does seem to bring out the best in mankind. It's a shame that we can't act that way like all the time.
Why can't it be Christmas time all the time?
That is true. Christmas in
Could
America.
be Christmas in America all the time.
All the time.
It's Christmas tragedies. Those are the best when we get the best people.
That's the second song that you're coming out with.
Oh, it's a follow-up.
Christmas in America all the time. Remix.
Ooh, I like it.
Or if we're talking about like uniting people, I could do Tornadoes in America.
I find that offensive.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I was just about to write down some lyrics there. I'm like, keep going.
Who likes it?
Like, hold on a second.
He's feeling it.
I like to offend people.
He's feeling it.
I am, because with the way that this year has gone, people want Christmas to start in September. They're like, put the tunes on, put the lights out. Like, give me something happy.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
It's funny that you mentioned that because we were thinking, okay, well, what's next? And, I'm thinking asteroid, I'm thinking something crazy like that. So I read this news article the other day that scientists have successfully engineered a T-Rex embryo from a chicken. And this T-Rex is literally going to be born. And so literally, who had dinosaurs for July? Like, who had Jurassic Park for July?
I was just going to say, Didn't we learn this? Like, don't mess with the dinosaurs.
I feel like if you want to know the truth, I feel like I've come to the conclusion that movies are like warnings for us humans. Like Independence Day, I swear it's going to be a matter of time before aliens actually show their face.
Yeah.
And then Jurassic Park, that was a warning of what would happen if we started inventing dinosaurs. Now look,
and let's be real, that
Jurassic Park in this bitch.
That dude spared no expense. If they had made a dinosaur in Tennessee, it would be some hillbilly dinosaur park, right? There would be dinosaurs running all over this city.
Be like Tiger King meets Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Like the T-Rex King or
I told Steve, if that happens, we're going to Italy, and I'm just going to be the biggest country music star in Italy at that point. I don't care anymore.
The question I had was,
/ wine connoisseur.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to make a dinosaur, right? Mm-hmm. Let's make the biggest, scariest, man-eatingest dinosaur possible out of all the dinosaurs. Let's make that one and release that one in the wild and see what happens.
They saw the commercial of how you can give chickens arms now. Yeah. And they were like, it looks kind of like a little T-Rex. Let's make a T-Rex.
You couldn't make like a little arms who just eats trees.
Yeah.
Right? Not an herbivore.
You couldn't make an omnivore dinosaur. You had to make a carnivore.
You couldn't make a freaking triceratops who just walks around with his big horns and eats plants. You had to make the biggest, scariest, man-eatingest, elephant-eatingest dinosaur possible.
I'd be more scared of a raptor more.
Well, he's not the biggest, though.
No, I don't care about the biggest. A raptor, dude,
clever girl.
They'll learn. See, raptors work in teams, though, as we learned in Jurassic Park 4 with Chris Pratt. They work in teams. Yeah. So if you only have one, they're small, and you could probably like people who have raccoons as pets. Like it's fine if you have one.
Right.
But if you are the Star-Lord, you can train. You can train them until they make the biggest, scariest, ugliest one that eats everybody, and then they all listen to that one instead of you, and then everybody's screwed.
We're all screwed anyway. In that movie, they were opening doors and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we're done.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
They haven't built that type of fortress yet for that half chicken, half T-Rex yet. He's like just in a lab somewhere. They probably have finger code to get in. They don't have the big, slam doors, triple lock. They don't have that yet.
Meanwhile, Chick-fil-A is like, we only need 3 of these to service 3 of our restaurants for the year.
Do you want to try the new T-Rex?
Dude, that is funny. There's giant chickens running around with T-Rex teeth.
This is how humanity ends. That's the sad part. And
exactly. What happened? Wilman, daggone giant chicken with T-Rex teeth came and ate my uncle. I don't know what happened after that, man.
It'll be all over. Everybody will just be going like this. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, is he coming toward? I think he's coming towards us. Tragic ending.
Everybody's face from henceforth like this. You won't see their face.
No.
And yeah, that's Chewbacca. I'm sorry. It's
all right, dude.
What can I do? She hates it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not a Star Wars aficionado there, Jesslee?
I'm not. I'm gonna be so real with you. I've not even seen one. I started it and I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. Star Wars and Star Trek and those types of things. Everything else I'm down with, but I just can't do Star Wars.
Well, this has been a fun chat. I'd like to say thank you guys. Let's no, I'm kidding.
He loves it.
Don't let her speak for me.
Yeah, he loves it.
Every day I wake up and I go, you will love Star Wars. And it doesn't work. She's too
use the Force.
She's too dark side, bro. I can't turn her. You will love Star Wars.
You didn't even get her into the Mandalorian, because that I think tried to at least, make it not Star Wars, but totally was Star Wars.
Right.
Hey, it's
gotta be real with you. I haven't even watched that show.
I thought there was like a new one that you haven't even seen.
I don't know why I haven't watched that show yet, but I haven't watched that show yet. We've watched other things, but not that show yet.
I'm not holding you back. We have 2 TVs in the house.
Bet you
Well, we just got the second one
got all the
yesterday.
episodes of The Bachelor in, but we missed out on The Mandalorian 7 episodes.
I'm not blaming anybody here.
Okay.
But
I don't watch The Bachelor.
Okay.
I only watch Chopped.
and 90 Day Fiance, which is actually really.
I actually did get so that was something that happened by accident. I love shit TV sometimes. Like you just need to see people, like, you know what I mean? So one day we tried out 90 Day Fiance and it had us rolling. Like we were just laughing. I just can't with some of these people and the choices they make. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy I've made the choices I've made in my life.
There are some of those people, man. There's one person that was like, so why are you having so-and-so move over here to Kazakhstan? And he goes, well, I love her.
Well, he goes, well, I love her.
I love her.
And we're like, okay.
I'm sitting here like, dude, this lady's screwed.
No. This is shit TV is actually the reason the aliens haven't shown up yet. They're like,
I agree.
Because they judge all of us.
And I can only take so much of it. Like he and I will watch an episode or two and be like, okay, that's enough drama. That's enough like anxiety. And then we turn on, what is it? Chopped and Cutthroat Kitchen.
And then
I usually, but I'll be honest, Coop, I'm a reader. I'm like one of those people. It's a lot of stuff too, like movies and stuff for me. There's certain movies that I've been able to enjoy, but I'm not like, I wouldn't call myself like a movie goer. Like I'm not like, I need to watch a movie. And he's been with me and we've maybe watched, we've been together for almost 2 years and I've maybe watched 2 movies with him, like
That's
ever.
true.
it's a good pace. You guys are on pace here.
I'm like, I'm a reader. I'll like if it on free time, if I have it, it's reading. It's like listening to good podcasts. And and also writing and songwriting and stuff. And but like, I don't know. I'm also weird because I think that I'm not even gonna go there. That's too deep state.
wait.
No, you can't. No. That's not how this works.
I can't. It's too deep state. I can't.
No. You don't walk us to the edge of the platform and then go, yeah.
Let's just say she loves the conspiracy stuff, as do
man.
I think that movies are so subliminal and that Hollywood is a very bad scene. That's all I'm gonna say. So I've kind of over the years, like I used to watch a lot of movies when I was a kid. And then over the years when I started to become a teen and I started to like put some of this stuff together and realize some things, I've just stepped away.
Right.
And it's mostly by choice. It's just kind of like, I just feel like you are what you surround yourself with. And like, I just love to be around things that I know I'm getting good messages from and I'm not being like poisoned subliminally.
I guess that means I'm wine and donuts.
Exactly.
Hey,
that's me.
Wine
and donut guy.
Yeah.
Bring me a bottle of wine and some donuts and I'm in.
Right.
100%.
Just put the donuts over the bottle of wine and you drink the donuts while you drink the donuts. You drink the wine while you eat the donuts off the bottle.
I think that's really why.
That's an idea.
I was just going, in my head, I was like, you know what? There's something
Donut
there.
wine.
I mean, this is America. We can sell that.
That's
we
true.
can sell donut and wine night.
Like, actually, that'd be a cool thing at a restaurant to like have a bottle of wine and then you pair your donuts with it and they just put them right on the bottle.
Donut
They
pairing.
ring them around and then that's the thing.
That's a good idea.
Donut pairing. This is where we've come to in life. We're just like,
I like it.
Let's make it a thing. I mean, I'm sure
it would sell out here in Nashville.
You can't not have
they
it a
do
thing.
like
It's
corn
donuts,
dog pairing with beer or something.
Yeah.
So
Is that true?
yeah, we went to it.
Did we?
Yeah, Goon.
I don't remember that.
Oh my god.
apparently the beer was good. That was amazing.
Apparently,
Corn dog
I
was
drank too much of the beer and didn't eat enough of the corn
We had a good
dogs.
time too.
right. There's pictures somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I was probably not wearing pants at the time. Just like on every Zoom call except for today.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude.
I feel I do feel like that I'm on some sort of level with you guys that you told me that right off the bat as the call came through. Like, it's okay, I got pants on today. Like, oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
good to see you too, Steve. Good to see you too.
Right.
Yeah,
no worries,
exactly.
Coop. I got on the pants just for you,
a
pal.
big day.
Just in case I have to stand up for something.
Yeah. Just in case.
I will say my very first Zoom call, I couldn't find any pants at all. Like none. Anywhere. We hadn't done laundry forever. So
That was my fault.
I put on the longest hoodie I could and came in here and just angled the computer up and sat real low. So I made sure that nobody saw my action. And I literally sat bare-assed in one of our kitchen table chairs and had my first Zoom
Oh
call.
my God.
I tried that same line on a date recently. It didn't work out.
That was a graphic design client though. That had nothing to do with any kind of music business.
No.
That was
Well, I guess that's better. No.
And now they're all going to be like, man,
No.
does that mean that Steve didn't have any pants on before?
I did try that. I don't have any clean pants line. I tried that on a date recently. It didn't work out. It was like, no,
Yeah,
it
dude,
just ended.
That's not a time when you can use that line.
Like,
Man,
oh,
I'm sorry. I
sorry.
didn't have any clean pants.
you're not a very responsible, almost 40-year-old podcast. So sorry. No, I'm not. I host a podcast and I'm 40. What do you want from me?
Man, I've been too busy podcasting. I didn't have a chance to wash my pants.
Well, I mean, does it really matter if you can't see down there?
It really doesn't. Like I could be lying to you this whole time, deep state style.
Like you could really, let's be real. You could be saying that you're wearing pants right now, Coop, but you're not. And we're just going to believe you. But we don't know.
Because we have that level of trust.
Right.
Or do we?
But we don't know. You could be rocking it right now with no pants.
Could be. I've seen.
And
I haven't seen. But newscasters sometimes will not wear pants.
I hear.
No.
I heard that. Didn't the dude just get busted for that recently?
Yeah, because I think he was at home. They were doing a live shot from him at home, and he was
oh my God.
not the camera angle because he couldn't see the feed coming back. He just had the camera set up, and it wasn't zoomed in enough. Wasn't zoomed in enough. That's it. Not out in. Yes.
Oh no.
He wasn't zoomed in enough.
There was
You saw
another.
his-
Yeah, there was another one newscast where it was a female reporter and she was in her house doing a broadcast, and her husband was behind her getting out of the shower. Like
Oh,
the
no.
door
No.
opened up and it was they cut to commercial. I think that was the line that came out. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
awful.
Dude,
Now
imagine-
that's bad. That's embarrassing.
Imagine being that guy because he didn't intend to be completely nude on television.
Aww.
He was just like getting
Yeah.
out of the shower. He's like, oh, maybe my wife is practicing. Oh, here's my penis.
I'm not gonna lie though.
Big stretch. Oh,
I
oh.
will say, as a couple that like works together and stuff, that's really awful communication. Like he would know.
Seriously.
Like when I have like an interview or something. I mean, then again, we do the same line of business, but like still, like I feel like if Steve didn't even work with me, I'd be like, hey babe, I have to do this tonight at this time. Like,
Right. Keep your
I
pants
don't
on.
know. That's just odd that he didn't know. And what a weird choice. Just like what a weird choice of like, why was she like aiming where the shower was? I don't
Right.
know.
Oh,
Well-
the shower is the perfect backdrop to my video. I think I'll use this.
I think it was the door. Like the door was behind her and then it opened. I think that's how it
Oh,
worked.
okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't see his tallywhacker. You just saw like from here up.
Not from the clips that I did not
Even
dive really
below.
into to find the whole
I
thing.
would have totally covered myself.
Oh, cover it up.
Oh.
do the full towel look.
Yeah. Oh.
So what we're getting at is COVID has driven everybody crazy, and I was thinking about as the tornadoes are rolling through last night, and I'm not worried about them. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to chat with Jesslee and Steve tomorrow. I should. Oh, is my child okay? Yeah. I was thinking that when we talked, so we chatted like a couple days. We were supposed to talk the day after the tornado hit in Nashville, and we postponed it obviously because
That's what it was. I
Yeah,
was
we
very
postponed it a
confused.
couple days. But even
Yeah.
but when we spoke, it was a lot of it. We did talk about the tornado, but it was you had a lot of huge things on the horizon. You know, we were talking about the new song, and you know, Steve was kind enough to send me over an MP3 to listen to it beforehand, and I was like, dude, this is it. This is the launching pad.
Thank you.
And then like fucking COVID hits, you know, like like, and I understand it's a global thing, but like for me, I was like,
Man, we
damn,
didn't even know.
Nashville just got like pounded. There's cars in houses, people, you know, the iconic locations are destroyed, and then shut the world down happened like the next week.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy because when we were talking about it and everything going on for the single, COVID wasn't even a thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
It like wasn't. It like I don't even think it had even like been announced.
Well, it had, but I thought it was going to be like SARS. You remember SARS?
But it wasn't.
yes.
It wasn't serious. Like it wasn't the spectacle it is now. And like,
well,
so
that's
we
a good
were
word, spectacle.
Yeah, spectacle. I'm just gonna say that right there. It wasn't the spectacle it is now.
Hmm.
So, winky wink. So Steve and my team and my label, we had all intentions to just trudge through and be like, oh, this is just going to be like a flu. Like, this is the way that this America is going to take this, and it's going to just die out in the summer. And I think it was about like 3 weeks left that we had until the single was going to drop when I talked to you. I'm like, timing's all messed up, but I'm almost certain. And we were ready to go. And, we had huge release parties in town planned, and big signing parties and just a bunch of events to really like hype up and promote the song. And a couple other things where we had been promised some support from some people, and obviously everybody had to do whatever was best for them at the time. And a lot of stuff, I mean, everything had to be, from the shows had to be canceled. A lot of the support that we had on the single had to be dropped because the big major label artists had to be supported first. And so a lot of the indie artists were put on the wayside when it came to playlisting and things like that. So it was a real bummer because the song didn't get the type of hype that it really should have in the beginning, and just so much fun stuff that we had planned for it went all down the toilet.
Though I'm an eternal optimist here, Coop, and I always think that things happen for a reason. I think that song is going to get its day.
I do too.
In the sun, and even though we're getting ready to put out a new single, I think there's going to be a whole batch of people that discover that song because of the new one. And our results from it have been so incredibly positive. And Jess is still, like I told you before the podcast started, we have me and there's another manager that co-manages her with me. We went to work when COVID happened because it's really allowed us to develop Jesslee as a brand more than just a country artist. Because, most country artists, including top level ones, aren't making a dime right now. And so they're
actually taking out huge loans.
Yeah.
To pay their people.
So we were like, hey, this is the perfect opportunity to not just develop her as a country artist, but develop her as a brand, as an entertainer and a brand. And since COVID started, we've had more traction on her as a brand than I've ever seen from any artist in Nashville, period, that was at her level.
Yeah.
And so it was really, I hate to say that it was a blessing that we were kind of locked in our house, but it really was a blessing for me because I really got to spend a lot of time delving into things that I don't get to delve into, and contacting companies and talking about strategic partnerships outside of music. And so
I think there was a lot of eye openers.
There was
a lot of eye openers to be able to be like, with the extra time that we couldn't have to, promote the single and do all those things, and then immediately start working on new music. We had a lot of time to think about, well, what are some other strategies we can take to use for me as an entertainer? And we've been really delving into that and pushing for some other things, some groundbreaking things that no artists have done before. So some of that stuff we can talk about, some of it we can't just yet, but we're really excited because although like in some cases we were a little bit bummed with everything, we feel like, the best thing you can do is when you get something like that in life is find the silver linings and find the opportunities that come from it. Not everything has to be a negative thing. I think there's, even if it seems shitty in the moment, I feel like everything offers some sort of opportunity.
Sure.
So.
If it doesn't affect you for 5 years and it's not worth 5 minutes, and that's the attitude we've taken. And over this time, we've been able to grow Jesslee exponentially on all social platforms. I mean, I actually can't keep her one sheet updated. She put on 2,500 new followers this week.
Wow.
on social media. And I compared her to nearly every baby act at every label and compared her engagement, and she's killing everyone. And we're talking people who have huge deals at big labels. She's killing them all.
Right.
And so what we're doing is obviously the right thing. We're building her a foundation to be able to be around for as long as she wants to be, not only as an artist, but as a personality. Because like I said earlier, she's so visceral. When you meet her, you're just like, wow, I really want to hang out with her. And she's not hard to look at, you know, and look at her hair. Doesn't it look great?
I know,
She just got a
I just got a cut today.
Just for this live stream. Just
it was.
So these
That's for this.
people,
I'm serious. I was like, I need to get these ends trimmed before I get on this show.
Trim the ends.
So for us, it was a really transformative 4 months, and it's really gonna, you know, we've of course have Country Fest again next year. We're gonna have dates in London and Dublin and Glasgow and Denmark and Spain. We're going to have several more festivals here. We have all kinds of stuff. We have a 35-date fair and festival tour that we have booked. And so, you know, the opportunities for her are really great. And I'm really, you know, glass half full, you know, I'm really grateful to be able to have spent that much time on that and not worry about the day-to-day bullshit that you usually have to deal with. Like, oh my God, our drummer is sick, or
right.
Where am I our trailer blew out an axle, or, you know what I mean? Like those type things. So I think that this could have been the best thing that ever happened to her. And quite frankly, as people see and figure out what we did, it could be the best thing that's ever happened to music, because we're doing something that nobody's ever done before. And it's going to break her. Probably bigger than anybody else has broken, including the top level people.
Yeah.
You just remember me when you get to the top. Be like,
oh,
dude, you're on the team, bro.
Yeah,
come on.
Here's what I love about all of this is because I don't want to say I've taken the same mental approach to it, but I think realizing that there's not shit you can do about what's going on. You can try to go play the Ryman, but it's closed. You know, you guys are absolutely 100% free to come up here to Cadott, Wisconsin, in the middle of a field, and we can rock out on the stage. I know a guy will get you in; it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
But that when everything gets closed down and it almost becomes, I think everybody's now, and it probably has been for a couple months, to that point where nothing is really surprising when things get shut down. No, there's like, oh, you know. With Country Fest, we made the move to go from June to August. And that, logistically speaking, thank God I don't wear that hat, is a nightmare in itself, because you're trying, you sold people tickets on this lineup. You're trying to figure that out. Well, at that time, all the artists were trying to reroute themselves for, you know, that late summer, early fall run, thinking this was going to be gone by then. So that was a challenge in itself. But we had the date set for, you know, mid-August, and did everything that was asked and required of Country Fest to make sure that could happen. You know, safety precautions were in place. There was, you know, different rules and regulations that were abided by. There were certain numbers that had to be hit as far as what the CDC said or the local health department said. And it just, you know, my boss, Wade, went to that meeting and he said, we've done everything that you've asked us to do. And the numbers are where they're supposed to be or where they were projected to be at that point. And nobody was willing to give the go-ahead to put the festival on, which, again, everything getting canceled, nobody's really too shocked about. But I think when you realize that inside of all the chaos, there is opportunity. Inside of all the, it sucks. It sucks that you can't go out and do anything. It sucks that my kid is going to be going, I think, to 2 days of school a week this fall, and the rest is all virtual.
The alternating thing.
It's some convoluted mess.
Some psychosis. Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. And that's what people have learned to do, is they've learned to figure it out. But I think when you're an artist or when you're in a position that you're trying to maintain or grow, realize where people are. people are so on their devices. They're so on their phones. They're so, as I have done with Jesslee now on 2 occasions, fallen down the rabbit hole of music and being able to discover so many new things. And for you guys, I'm guessing on that vein, being able to sit down and think, man, how can we really like blow the roof off of this son of a bitch? Like what can we do? I know you guys did the Do It Like challenge, and watching those, really getting people to interact, because you knew people are like, give me something to do before I lose my shit.
Right.
So I think being innovative and thinking like, man, this is not ideal. I'm sure you'd love to be on the road. You'd love to be in front of fans and gaining new fans and growing socially that way. But to think, how can we do this without that part of it? How can we grow our brand name, music, get it into people's ear without any sorts of normalcy?
Absolutely. I'm really blessed to have a team that like is super innovative like I am. And also when I think of like really crazy, outrageous ideas, they don't look at me like I'm crazy, and that's I think that's the whole thing in life is you got to find people that are your kind of crazy, and just surround yourself with those people.
That sounds like a song.
I was just thinking, I'm like, huh.
Well, I already have my kind of crazy in my writing. I have that as a hook. So,
well, you can't
it's already penned. Oh, well, shh, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I won't tell anybody.
Bleep that out. Dude.
I mean, it's okay. It's going to be written like tomorrow. So if they want to steal it, they're going to be too late.
Copyright.
I copyright.
Yeah,
that is something I do. Just in case anybody wants to know, I literally write a song. Steve knows. He thinks I'm crazy because it's so expensive. I write a song and I copyright that bitch literally that night. Because I'm like, if anybody wants to try to steal something of mine, they're done. Like I have it legally.
$5,000 in copyrights later.
I know.
I do it literally every single song.
That's an expensive stack of paper right there. That notebook, that's pricey.
Yeah.
But you have to find people around you. That's where it came from, which I was talking about because it's a song that I already am in the process of wanting to write. But you have to find people around you that are you're kind of crazy and support that and are going to get in on that with you because, the most innovative people in the world were the ones that in times of tragedy, whether it's tragedy that they inflicted on themselves or natural causes or whatever, they're able to come out of it and then find their village of people that can really help them because no one does, especially this industry, no one does anything alone. Like you have to find your tribe and the music industry particularly is a industry that it takes a village.
Well, and let's be real here too. We're living in the Wild West nowadays of what the music industry even is. It's everything really, including movies and television and everything. I mean, like we canceled cable a year and a half ago because all we watch is Netflix and Hulu. I haven't listened to the radio, Coop, in probably 2 years. And so, what is the music business nowadays? And the beautiful part about that is I feel like I'm friggin' Wyatt Earp, dude. I'm ready to go in with my guns blazing and try some new stuff because we're not wrong from trying it. And obviously what we're doing versus everybody else is superior because we're winning right now.
Right.
And, Jesslee went viral twice last month and reached 4 million people, like literally 4 million people.
Which was like the crazy part about it was it. And regularly now I have like a 2.9 million reach, like just regularly, but like we had a spike of like 4 million people and
organic. It
was nuts because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what are these major label people doing wrong? And that's where we found out, like my team, we found out and we're capitalizing on that. And we are on such a mission to we're not even giving the labels a time of day. I've had label,
interest.
Yeah, label interest. I've gone in and when I first got here, I did showcases and turned contracts down because I don't care about that. Like for us, we don't, we know the worth, we know the mindset, the innovative nature that my team has and the plan with the data that backs it up behind it. And it's a really exciting time for us because literally like this whole spectacle,
Yep.
is what gave us the time to really hone in and figure it out. Because we were not able to do that before. And I don't think that's coincidence. You know, I really don't think it is. Like, and I'm not saying COVID happened for me, but I'm not. I was just saying that, like, if you're right, I feel like if anybody is able to dig in and be willing to have the insight and the open mind to figuring out, like, how could something, even if it is surrounded in tragedy, how could something benefit them in that moment? I feel like everybody would have that serendipitous, this isn't coincidence feeling right now, because I think everybody could pull something out that would benefit, in their life.
So you don't know this about me, Coop, but I used to be by
the way, do your fans know who Steve and I are?
Yeah.
Like, do they know? They do. Okay. I didn't know if they know, because Steve wasn't on with us last time, so I didn't know if they knew he was my manager.
He interjected a couple times on our previous podcast, but yeah, when I socially posted about it, I did.
I was like, hold on, they might be like, who is this guy next to her?
Who's the asshole next to her?
Why are we just hearing their like faces are in the camera?
It's just my arm candy. I bring him wherever I go.
As you know, I just pose and flip my hair around.
This is my Fabio. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my previous life when I had short hair, I was a tie and suit wearing corporate guy. When I first moved to Nashville, I was the creative director for 2 Fortune 500 companies. And so my background is in marketing. And, I obviously moved to Nashville to do music and was very fortunate to be able to do that, but not only by myself, but with my brother, and make music with some really talented people and tour the country so many times I can't even count. Have record deals and lost record deals and all that stuff. But in the time of that, one thing that finally clicked for me with Jesslee was the actual marketing aspect of music. And it's not necessarily our plan with Jesslee that makes it special, it's the people. So even if people really knew what it was, you couldn't replicate what we're doing, because it's the people that make it happen.
Right.
And it's cool because, like, over my time in Nashville, I got to go pick out a dream team of folks that when I decided I was going to be a manager, I want this producer on her project. I want these people running socials. I want this person going for corporate accounts. I want this person booking shows. And so we were really able to put together this team of like the Avengers, right? They're kind of outcasty, but together they're badasses. And we're
Sorry, you said outcast, so I have to.
Every time he
says we're outcasty, I'm like, we are. I gotta sing it.
Am I Big Boy or am I the other guy?
So we're
Andre 5000.
Yeah, Andre 5000. There you go. Who was Chocolate Brown, or wasn't that his name in Semi-Pro? Did you ever see that movie?
I didn't. I was too busy watching Star Wars stuff.
Oh, touche. You will watch Star Wars with me.
I'm just a geek.
Oh God, Steven.
I don't have the Force, bro.
No.
But yeah, being from a marketing background, I was able to take kind of that stuff, some of that stuff, and be able to apply it to what we're doing now, aside from music, because music it's really no different than selling a lawn tractor. It's just your product is slightly different. How you get it to the people is what's important.
Well, if you look at me as a brand, it's really no different, and that was the difference. Taking me and being able to see that I'm in the business of music, I'm a product,
So it's been a different approach for us on that respect, because I think a lot of people get caught up in, and I hate to say this because it is the music business, they get caught up in the art and forget about the business of the art,
right?
And there has to be a beautiful marriage of both. You have to put out great art, but you also have to be smart about putting out the art and getting the traction that actually means something. Because there's what's success nowadays. 5 million streams on Spotify doesn't mean you're successful.
No.
You could have 5 million streams and not be able to put one ass in a seat at a theater. And so what good does that do you other than stroke your ego to here from here to oblivion, So I would rather have an artist that gets 50,000 real streams and can sell 500 tickets, because ultimately the devaluation of, I'm getting on my soapbox for a minute, the devaluation of music and how people have devalued music and art has made it to where music anymore is not a revenue generator. She's a revenue generator. And so if you're not coming to see her, right, she's not generating the cash flow from her, then we're not a viable act. We're not a viable business.
Right.
And people forget that nowadays.
And there's a big problem when I'm going to these venues and I'm out selling major label artists who are on radio.
Right.
Yeah.
Who have 5 million spins. Yeah. You know,
That
a lot of the times it has to do with Spotify standing behind them, playlisting them, claiming that they're a discovery playlist. Right. And then they don't support artists because of the music quality. They support artists because they're getting some sort of deal from a major label. Right. And, you know, and that's the hilarious part is you have people who they feel like there's someone because they get 5 million streams because they're playlisted and they have support from Spotify. But then the big eye opener was when we were touring, I was out selling major label artists.
Like several of them. We'd show up at a club and the club would be like, wow, you guys drew more than so-and-so from Warner Brothers last week.
Wow.
And we were like, how is that a thing?
Multiple venues. It was crazy. And these are the things that led us to realize like the eye-opening things that tied into the stuff that we discovered through our socials during this time. And it's all been just, you know, serendipity and being able to just literally just pay attention and kind of link it all together.
And the best part is she doesn't owe one dime to anybody. High five.
High fives.
High fives.
I do.
That was a lame high five.
Well, I was interlocked with you.
Push the screen down here.
Let's do it. Let's do a 3 high fives. Ready? Cooper, coming for you. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It was
kind of sort of worked. I'm sure it'll play out better on in the replay. But no,
I promise I'll quit talking about business now.
No, what I love about it is I don't want to say being completely on the inside, but in the radio industry from the late 90s, I'm going to date myself here, to 2019, and realizing over that 20 years, I only knew such a small percentage of the actual good music that was out there. The artists that I've discovered more music in the last 18 months than I did in 20 years of radio.
Wow.
And that's, and I'm not, I think the machine is broken. I think Steve and I think we've had this text conversation about the industry as a whole and genre to genre. I think people are trying to make it work the way it worked back in the 90s when everybody was making bank on one song and get a hit on the radio, and all of a sudden you're, opening up for a major, legendary act, and then you're going on your own tour, and money was made and butts and seats, and the second single sucked, the follow-up album sucked, and everybody fell off the map. And but it's weird for me to have all this discovery, and even you, Jesslee. I think I found you on Instagram, and I think I can't remember what song you were promoting. I forget. But then I sent a DM, and then Steve responded, and I was like, hey, because you were coming to Country Fest, and I was like, hey, did the library down the rabbit hole, and when you get down to the rabbit hole a little bit, you start to find these avenues to like discovering other artists and people that like artists I would never have found in a million years. And then you start to go, wow, how does this artist who I've never heard of, I was in rock radio, I did country radio, I was in the same office as one of the biggest country stations, and not just in the state, but in the country. And I was like, how have I never heard of this artist? And they have 150,000 followers, and they have, their streaming numbers are incredible, and they got, they're interactive. They're putting out content on the daily. They're like Jesslee does. If somebody comments on a post, like, you're responding to them, and that is something that you never ever got with the major label artists, because they were always like, they're behind the curtain. It's watching The Wizard of Oz. It's pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Right.
But I think that the way you guys are just innovating the way that you get the brand out and continue to grow and continue to, get music in people's ears, not even just the music, but like people are not just following you to follow you. Like there's a connection there that runs deeper, I think, than just, hey, yeah, I like Do It Like, so I'm gonna follow her. I like Christmas in America, so I'm gonna follow her.
Right.
That's like I want to see how many times I can drop that song in this podcast in the middle of July. But
twice.
But I'm going for 4. But I think there's something about not only the genius in the marketing behind it, but there's also something about the genuineness that you bring to the table too. There's a realness to you. You're not like, when I was doing Rockfest for the last 10 years, there are bands I called the tangible bands, the artists that you're like, I can see myself having a beer with this artist.
Yeah, I love that.
I can see myself after the set having shots of Jack Daniels with Steve and Jesslee.
Yeah.
And maybe your Irish makeup artist. I mean, if she's on board. I'm just
definitely
still be there.
I'm just throwing things out, throwing ideas into the bin here. But
I love it.
There's a realness to you, and there's a realness to these artists that you don't feel like you're going to the spectacle and the curtain opens up and and then it closes down and then you have no other. That's all you get. You get to like their posts and
right.
pay $500 to be in their fan club.
And that's a great point, because I feel like this is a subject we've talked about, with my team. I feel like there's a point to where that can be important to have that a little bit of closed off privacy. But at the same time, I do very much so try to have a sense of personable interest in my fans and in the people that interact with me, because, when it comes down to it, they're a huge part of where I end up in this industry and a huge part of my career. And I appreciate the time that they take. Someone doesn't have to come on and comment or like anything of mine. And when they do, when they take the initiative to not only like something and then comment on it, I feel like that's worth, even if I'm in a rush and I can even just give a heart or a smiley face, like it's just something, and I feel like that's my way of doing what I can to be able to show I see you, I appreciate you, and it's funny because, excuse me, Steve and I were talking about, there's times where what you just spoke about is like actually one of my favorite things about the industry. Like, and I'm just saying this within the triangle here. Well, people are listeting, so it's not really. It's not really, but I'm not going to go too deep into how far I feel.
Right.
I'm just going to state that there's something to be said, like the whole star factor of like, you go and you pay mad money. Like, for instance, like I think the most expensive ticket I ever bought was like for like a Britney Spears concert or something. It was like back when I was a kid, like it was maybe Rascal Flatts at one point. Like they were like $50, $60, $70, $80 were like the biggest, like the most I've spent on a ticket. But I felt like it was worth it because there was a star factor. It was like, why am I going to pay money to go watch someone do what I can do if they can't do it better than me? Or if there isn't like a sense of like a star factor, an it factor, And there is something about, I love like the whole, you have to appreciate the privacy that an artist wants in some ways, but I agree. Like it's this fine line being able to like have that stardom, that star factor that you can offer that's different than the rest of the world, to be enough to where people will come and pay for your show, to pay you to do your talent. But then also a level of personabilism and appreciation that you give out to the people that support you, and it's obviously different too. Like when it comes to like, just like an everyday fan, like a fan shouldn't be able to just like DM me or call me or just chat with me all the time, like there should be a separation to that, because I do have a life besides the music, Yeah,
there's
like
there's Nerf gun fights to have, people. I mean, we can't be
exactly.
chatting all day.
But when it comes to people like in the industry, like you're in the industry, so like of course, like after a country fest, like we're gonna go have some beers and hang out and like chat it up and wear our leather pants around the ground.
I'm not wearing leather pants, first of all.
Just so happening. That is so happening.
I'm not going to wear any pants.
I know. That's what.
Exactly.
I'll bring you an extra pair.
I think Steve can also kind of second that, because we are always trying to find this this boundary of where I show my fans that I appreciate them, and I show the people that like I'm so approachable. Like at a show, there were so many shows that I've come to where the venue owners were like, never had so many people want to just walk up and talk to an artist before.
Right.
And like we had to figure out a way to do that to where it was safe. I mean, safety comes to a huge factor in there. Being from The Voice, I was there with, I believe her name was Christina Grimmie. And, she literally was shot by a crazy fan, and you have other stories from people just like that, and I think there is like a level of where you have to be able to balance the star factor, it factor, like separation from your fans thing, along with being able to feel personable and feel like you do appreciate everybody that supports your craft.
That's the tough part, is making somebody feel like they're part of something without making them feel like, because there are certain people like you who become part of our extended family, right? But then there's a lot of fans that there's a lot of fans that feel like we should invite them over to Christmas dinner, and that just isn't how it necessarily can be,
Yeah.
And so, we very much do the best we can to kind of have Jesslee be approachable, but still be able to retain enough star factor that we don't give them everything. We give them just a little taste, and you still got to go buy the ice cream cone. You get the sample cup, and that's okay,
right? Because
there's something to be said for being approachable but not available all the time.
Exactly.
There's something to be said for being gracious and answering everybody back, and being gullible and allowing everyone to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And so that's the fine line that we're trying to stay on, right? So the worst thing you could do is send Jesslee some sort of off-color message, because then you're going to have like 30 people just completely destroy you.
Well, I used to, before I had a team. I mean, I can't tell you, I was telling Steve, I can't tell you the last time I got an inappropriate message, like a picture of something that I shouldn't be seeing. I used to, when I first started online, it was like an unreal thing to me that a person I didn't know would send me a photo of something like that. And I was like, what? Like, I felt violated. I really did. And like, this person had never even seen me. I was just like, this is awful. And, I literally was like, well, that's not going to happen again. I took a snapshot of it, put it up on my story, and called the guy out and said, here you go, sicko. And I was like, for anybody else that has the same ideas, this will happen to you. If you want the world to see your junk, have a nice day. So like literally, I'm telling you, I know. I think actually it was one other time I got it, and I was so exhausted by the end of it. I was like, I'm not even dealing with this. I'm deleting this photo. But like, that was like the last time I'd ever gotten anything like that. And I make it very clear, like, you'll probably see on my comments, if someone sends something to me that's off color, I'll call them out right there in the middle of it. Like, I don't care. And I'll say it in a respectful way. I'll find a way to really like twist the words to where I don't look like a complete bitch, because I'm not. But like, I also, respect myself, and I know that I should be respected, So it's kind of ties into where there's this fine line of like, people need to know that they can talk. They need to respect me. They need to talk to me in a certain way. There is a level of privacy that they cannot pass. But at the same time, I love you. I appreciate you,
Right, yeah.
In my life, there's never been a time where I've like, wow, that woman is really beautiful. She'll love this. That's never happened.
Yeah. Like, all the Hallmark cards I bought, that was never part of it. Was never like, oh, well, insert D-pic here and then send it. It was never.
So funny.
Can you tell me where the dick cards are, please? Because
are they in the back? They're in the back. Yeah, they're in the way back.
They're pop-up ones, and they're like,
yeah. All the other
really
lonely people are back there.
Like, that'd be really funny to have it though. Like, you were supposed to like insert your dick pic here, and like it did, and they were like looking for it. They're like, oh my god, is it still in the envelope?
Dude, it would be funny if they had, like how your
shaking
grandma
it
puts money in the cards. If you wrapped it around it, and it was like, and you had to unsheath your money.
Unsheath.
I'm sending you one of those for your birthday.
Right.
He's gonna make one.
I'm gonna make one.
If he can't find one, he'll make one.
If you get an envelope that's real thick like this.
Oh no.
Now
we're
pop-up. It's a pop-up.
It's a
card.
pop-up. Okay.
It'll have like
he goes, OJ.
It'll have some Bill Withers playing on one of those constant loops.
Oh man. That'd be the best birthday present I ever got. Oh,
He'll be like, oh.
I'll be like, oh, I wasn't planning.
Like, oh.
I wasn't planning on starting drinking this early in the day, but apparently I have to now because I checked the mail before noon and.
Because I was violated by Steve.
Yeah, Steve violated me.
Welcome to Nashville, pal.
Changing the move date. Let's see. When are you guys going on tour? All right about then. That's when I'll be there. But no,
Make sure to send me your address before you move here.
I will. To my neighbor, and I'll just watch them. I'll just peruse when they go get their mail. Shaking cards. Like, is there money in here? No, it's not money.
No, that's not it. Don't open it.
Don't open it. Poof.
Or you can just hand it to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or you
can
could be the weird neighbor that's like, hey, will you check my mail?
Can
for
you
me?
open that for me and let me know what's inside it? Could you imagine having a neighbor open it for it and they're like,
no, Coop would be over there like with a photo ready, just in case.
This is
every time he's like, oh, that's just regular murder. Damn it, Bob.
It's just a bill.
Just a Geico bill. God.
Dumb. Come on. I want cards for every occasion. I think that should be, if you're looking for ideas, here's another one. D-pick cards for all holidays.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's not just
Santa hat.
Yeah. So I think we have to draw the line at randomly doing it. Like there at least should be a holiday, like Columbus Day. Like who doesn't want? No, maybe that's.
So you could start. You're so crafty. You could start your business. You could start your card business on Etsy first. If it goes well on Etsy, we move it. Maybe we add it as a second Boots and Hose option. Boots and Hose cards.
There you go.
I think you just came up with a new website name. FD.
No.
FD. No. Maybe that one's probably already taken. I'll check later. How's that? I'll check.
Well, it's like writing that down.
But what you could also have is instead of it, being where the pick was supposed to be, like that could be like where the money goes. It'd be like, oh, they were looking, and then there's a 5 in there or something, or a 10, depending on how gratuitous.
We'll make different versions.
Yeah.
We'll have selections.
We will.
We will.
We're gonna have oversized ones and little mini cards.
Yeah. Like those big ones that you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Arrange them.
One.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like the T-Rex card with chicken teeth.
But no,
Boy, that went sideways, y'all.
It's called derailed, but we're good. No, I totally get that. Having that line is super important, and I can't speak for myself, but I mean, being a female artist, there's going to be those kind of things because unless Steve's getting D-pics, I mean, I'm not. So I mean, which is probably beneficial.
Well, other than the last one from you, bro, and I don't know that.
Hey, the triangle. It was not. You're putting this out of the triangle now. We've moved to global. Now everybody knows.
Sorry, pal. But no, I mean, it's an interesting thing because I always thought, when I was doing the music thing, I always thought, man, it's got to be easier to be a girl, and especially a beautiful woman. And man, it is exponentially harder for women.
This is actually something too that Steve's developed a passion for. He wants to hit a certain point in our career where obviously we'll hit, but he has really started to stand for the women in music in general because he's been there to see so many situations where people have tried to take advantage of me, or
it's frustrating.
Huge artists that wanted to co-write and reached out to me, and then after I turned down a Netflix and chill, they suddenly didn't care anymore and things. You know what I mean?
Would unfollow and unfriend.
So it's just one of those things, and that was earlier in my career. I mean, it's as things press on. But don't think I didn't put that on a list.
We have a list
and save it. And we have things that people that we know, like they have ill intentions, and
we're talking some pretty big people, like people that you would know. And people that everybody listening, watching would know. I'm not going to say who it is, but it was relatively shocking to me that not only are you available to your fans, but you're literally available to everybody else and people that you wouldn't necessarily think would be that way in situations that shouldn't be that way are. Mm-hmm. And it's been really frustrating because, you have a world-class talent and you expect that world-class talent to be treated like a world-class talent, right? And in a lot of ways, it was harder to circumvent the crap that you get from people, both artists and songwriters and managers and label folks who literally were just bent out of shape because a beautiful female artist said no to their advances. And
well, I'm going to make it as far as I want to make it. And I'm going to be able to hold my hat on that I did it the right way.
Well,
I'll never have to have, stress over any choices that I've made along the journey,
Right.
and I think that's so important. And I've been able to say that, I'm self-made and the journey's been fun. And I have a really badass team with me of really amazing people with strong, beautiful, wholehearted intentions for me. Yeah. And I feel like that's so important, Yeah.
And as much as frustrating as it is, it's really put a chip on my shoulder to make sure that she succeeds in the biggest kind of way. So when she's at the tippity top, I can look down at everybody else and be like, see, like Christmas in America.
And just so people know. So
that's three. That's three.
So Steve actually was my manager before we started dating. I used to come out here to Nashville, and I was co-writing with a lot of people. And one time when I came out, I was like, we should finally get together and get it right. Because he actually did the same exact thing. He connected with me through Instagram. So I was like, okay, well, one of the times that I got there, we'll write. So we ended up getting a time where I could schedule something with him. And we had an amazing write. We wrote a beautiful song, and we were just such on a high about it. And he at the time was actually transitioning into the business side of music and starting management with artists. And I ended up being his first artist that he took on, and we worked together for a few months. And then I basically pursued the shit out of him.
Which, I'm going to be real with you, still blows my mind that this would pursue this.
I think truthfully, it was, I've always been so guarded, and like going back to my past with things with my dad, and really just dating shit men throughout my life. I've been through a long period of time where I was like, I'm just going to be really guarded and not let anybody in, and I'm going to be a superstar and then maybe date someone,
Right.
And Steve was coming into town. He was one of the first people that saw me for who I was, 100% appreciated me as an artist. He did not, he came in and wanted to help me pursue this 100%, just appreciating my artistry. And it was for the first time someone didn't look at me and be like, oh, wow, I want to date you, and there was no like other intentions besides the fact of like, I want to help you. I want to help you do your thing because I feel like you deserve it,
It's the truth.
And and I think that was attractive to me. Actually, someone like not coming in and just hitting on me or saying some stupid thing. And it was one of those things that I was like, this guy actually likes me for me. He likes me because of my talent. He likes me because of my charisma, and he's not even trying to date me, and we just ended up having such a solid friendship and such a great business partnership that I was like, I'm going to try to get him.
And, the funny thing is like, obviously she's beautiful. And obviously when she walks in a room, people are all like, it's like a cartoon. It's the eyes go blah, 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 and the mouth is, and of course I was like that, but I was like, you know what? She's, first and foremost, literally, I don't know if I've ever told you this story, but when we did get together for the first time, I was kind of on the tail end of being an artist, and I said, hey, sing me the idea you have. And she started to sing, and like, I could not believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe it. And, I've been I have friends in Carrie's band, and I had been in the room with Martina McBride and several other incredible female singers. And she was but the best live vocal for a female I've ever heard, like live. And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, is this real life? This can't be happening. Like, here's my face, like in my head, but I'm trying to play it cool. I'm like, but meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, so, hey, you're a pretty good singer over here. Let's write a song. Yeah,
Without the accent.
Oh,
no,
come
that's
on.
What my internal monologue sounded like.
Totally. I totally would have sold it
all the time inside my.
Hey.
I'm like, hey, you want to go on a date over here? Let's go to the movies.
This is good. Let's go see a movie, huh? I love it.
Let's go see Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? And so, for me, I appreciate talent and I appreciate people. Like I appreciate genuine people. And she immediately, and I think it was because of her candor with me about her past and the type of people she had been with and how they had taken advantage of her. I immediately was like, wow, this girl is just one of the coolest people I've ever met, period. And, you know, it's like you meet her and you just want to take care of her. Like, at least that's how it was with me. I was like, you need me to, you know, what do you need me to do? You want to wash your car? You want me to do your laundry? You know, you need me to cook dinner? You need me to go to the grocery store? Whatever you need to do.
You need some more wine? I get some more wine.
Yeah.
Hey.
To the store for wine. So, you know, for me, it was just, I really enjoyed the person she was. And I didn't, you know, obviously past the shock of her walking in the room and Dreamweaver playing and her floating in the room for the first time.
Dreamweaver.
It's like
I believe.
she floated in with sparkles around her, like in Wayne's World. It was,
oh my God.
Other than past the shock of that,
right,
I was able to see the real girl, not the one that's like, you know, that everybody else sees. And it was really just a beautiful soul inside of her. And so that's what made me want to help her. And then, of course, she pursued the shit out of me. What can I say? I was like, hey, you want to go out on a date or something?
You saw this. This is amazing. This right here.
It was the hair, bro.
That's what it was.
All it is.
Yeah,
if I cut the hair, I lose the mojo.
My one-liner was like, if you and I get together, think about all the amazing songs we can write all the time. And then he was like, it's true. And I'm like, we should get together.
Nice.
I was like, okay. I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened. So I felt like that story was pertinent and important because a lot of people think that he and I were a couple first, and he just kind of like, you know, was like, oh, well, I'll just
be your
manage
manager
you on the side.
Since I'm here.
Yeah, but it actually was backwards. And it's actually been like the best thing ever because I think from seeing a lot of artists out here sign with managers that have zero emotional care about what happens to them. It's just all business. And sometimes they get thrown into situations, whether it's being overworked or just awful deals or whatever. Being able to have someone that's had the 15-year experience in this industry, being an artist, and then also being in the business side of things, and along with having that emotional care is so important because, you know, just things that a lot of other managers would be like, oh yeah, just do it. It's going to make you money, or just do it because it's going to, you know, do this for you. He's got this emotional standpoint as well, being like, it's really not the best route. And I'm not looking for it to make my cut of my manager fee. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it all goes to the same place anyway.
Right.
Say,
as long as I get him a jetpack one day, he's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
Good. Okay. At least I like where your standards are. I like where your head's at on that. Like.
Yeah, he wants a jetpack. I want a sea breacher.
I want a jetpack. So bad.
I want a sea breacher. I'd be happy.
Have you seen a sea breacher? Have you seen those?
I haven't, but I feel like
never seen
there's
a sea
submarine
breacher.
race boats that can go 6 feet under the water and jump like dolphins.
They're
like this.
so cool. They're only $80,000, dude. Actually, kind of.
Listen, my
your
jetpack
jetpack is probably like $5,000, dude. Like
it's $400,000.
Yeah, the jetpack is like.
Well, if you're gonna go with
like
that,
literally. Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. Come on, sugar mama, let's make this happen.
So you guys got some work to do. So
yeah, I can't wait for it to be under my tree because then it would be Christmas in America.
4 times. Got it dropped 4 times. I feel
ding, ding, ding.
like that's
2 for 2, bro.
Yeah.
2 and 2.
Accomplished.
So it is kind of a tough situation for me to be in sometimes, being both the boyfriend, the significant other, and the manager, because there's certain times when like I just want to rip somebody's face off as her person, but I have to stand in between and be like, yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. And then I turn around and I'm like, you know, and like Yosemite Sam walking away from him, like veins popping out in my head. But it is a tough situation to be in sometimes. But I always tell her, listen, I'm pulling my boyfriend cap off and putting my manager cap on, because sometimes the two don't think the same at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel very bipolar sometimes about that, because
early onset.
There's times when I want to comfort her as a person, but as a manager, I'm just like, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And so, but that's okay. I just saw a little hand come in like this.
That was one of those chickens. One of those T-Rex chickens. Or it's a 10-year-old.
Aww.
There he is.
Hi.
Good man.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
So what's your name?
Grayson.
Grayson. That's right. It's Grayson.
It is.
So Grayson, how does it feel being stuck in the house?
I don't know.
Are you guys having wild parties with girls over all
Hey,
the time?
you saw the pictures, Steve. We've been boating, we've been to the beach,
that's
we've
right.
been
Yeah, you
living the dream, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like so much. What do you say?
He's going,
sounds-
yeah. He's being excited.
So
about life.
Grayson, does your dad give you Monster energy drink every day?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
No, hell no, I do not.
I like
got-
Monster Energy Zero. That's my favorite. That's
We
my
got
jam.
we got medication that brings that down a little bit. We just bring it down. It's up here, we bring it down.
That's okay. I wish I had medication to bring it down.
Has Grayson listened to Do It Like?
We were jamming to it, I think, before the last podcast, and then just now, right before Christmas in America came on.
Ding ding. That's fine.
Okay, it wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't in that order. Like there was other music in between. So
That's good. I was gonna say that's just
There you
they
go.
didn't line it up on Amazon Music. Didn't line it up like Do It Like Christmas in America.
right.
That's 5.
Boyfriend.
Ding,
Yeah, but
That's 7 total, Coop. You're
I know.
actually
I feel like we should have had a bell that rang every time that happened.
I
we're
know.
overachieving.
Yeah. We are. Well, that's kind of what the point of this, podcast live stream is that we go above and beyond the Call of Duty.
That's exactly right. And play Call of Duty too, since we're on Twitch. You see what I
Hey,
did?
look at this guy knowing his stuff. He did his research.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Grayson, how old are you?
10.
You're 10? So what grade is that?
I'm going into 5th.
5th grade. That was my favorite elementary/middle school grade.
Yes, it was a good elementary school year.
That's right.
I got taught by a PE teacher who was so hairy that he had to shave like a gap between his face and his chest. He had
Ooh.
to shave his neck, like right here, so he didn't have one continuous mouth to chest beard.
I hope he doesn't see this and he's like knowing what you really felt about him.
That was 150 years ago.
that was back.
Oh.
Their gym class was having to chisel things into stone.
Yes,
And it
that was
was
exactly right.
Writing
We
the.
rode on brontosauruses.
That's why he's all freaked out about the dinosaurs coming back, because he knows how it ended.
Right,
Right.
exactly.
We had the pterodactyls would tug on their tail and they'd go peck, 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 on the stone tablets.
It was like Hungry Hippos, except for it was not.
Now that was a game.
That
right
was.
there.
Yeah.
That was-
Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
I actually saw a live reenactment of Hungry Hippos on Facebook
Messages for me.
during COVID.
3.
wow.
It was fantastic.
That's part of the COVID story.
This right here, Coop, is a dad move. You ready?
I'm ready.
The
The look.
jaw readjustment and slide to the side and the gap. That's it. That's a dad move.
Yeah. I've been practicing for 10 years. This is
Yeah.
But this is what
Hi.
this what makes this real
I need
life
to
though.
take 2 minutes. I have to use the restroom. I mean, this is real life. I just ate pho an hour ago, which was a gallon of liquid.
Really?
If I don't get up, I'm going to pee on the floor. And we
This
just
is why
got
I
into
do
it.
the interviews and Steve normally isn't.
Watch this. This is what you call a creative pan.
Hi, Steve.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I didn't know you guys had you had a camera guy working there too. Man, you got this all figured out.
Exactly.
This is you got
Yeah,
it down
he's
to a
gonna just
science.
he's gonna hang right here on this frame.
I like it. But you guys, I know you have a lot of stuff that you guys been working on during COVID. Boots and Hose was something that Steve was saying kind of started as an idea after a bottle of wine and watching Step Brothers or something, and then all of a sudden it's hey, let's start a clothing line.
Yeah, I mean, along with like that's some of the stuff outside of the music stuff, but with Steve having all the graphic design experience and me having just such a crazy mind, it was just such a good team, and we were able to really come together to be able to create that. And it was really fun because literally we were drinking wine, we were watching Step Brothers, the Boots and Hose video came on, and we were just laughing like crazy. Like we were just like, we need to do this. We need to steal it and make it our own. And I like to kind of laugh because some people are like, why would you do anything? Why would you put hose in anything? And I'm like, well, it's actually a different meaning. Hoe with an E on the end, if you're educated, you would know that a hoe with a meaning on the end is actually a farming hoe. It's a tool.
It's a gardening tool, yes.
Anybody, yeah. So people, it's funny because people are getting it now. They're like, oh, okay, I get it. But in the beginning, when we signed our marketing deal for it, we actually had Google flagging it as a porno site. They wouldn't let my team, like my marketing team, run ads because they were like, oh, it's a porno site. And I'm like, Google, you're a freaking idiot. Like it doesn't make any sense. So we've been plowing through that and everything's been really cool. We just signed our cameras back. So we just signed our marketing deal and we're now really, really pushing the company. We also are waiting for the trademark to come through because again, I'm literally like I am with my songs. If I think of something and I'm going to release it, I protect it. So just like I write a song and I copyright it right away. We had the idea and I'm like, well, if we're going to do this seriously, I want to protect it. I don't want to deal with having anybody try to come in and do the same thing as us. I want to protect the name, the designs, all of it. So we did all of that. And then once we had it all officially trademarked, we officially released it about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's been officially released about 2 months ago.
So it's
been so fun. Like
it's been pretty fun.
That's just pure fun because we literally just get to create stupid stuff. Like we have this shirt that I swear to you, I will shit bricks if we get it in Garth's hands, but it actually says Garth in the streets, Gaines in the sheets. And it's just literally all like everything is just fun love for rural and country living. And it's all like fun things with country music, with farming, with rural lifestyle, and just being able to have like a sense of humor with that type of stuff. So,
and evidently Google thinks it's porno.
Yeah,
I told him.
Yeah.
3 times.
3 different times.
I bet if you take the E off and then Googled it,
it may be
porno. It's like it'd be right next to farmersonly.com. Like if you can't get a date on Farmers Only, you go to.
All right. Well, Google needs some schooling because if you put an E on the word hoe, it's a tool. It's a farming tool.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
No!
Hey, the guy who wrote that is making bank. I'm just saying, he's rolling in money right now.
And you just picked up a new sponsor, bro.
I know.
FarmersOnly.com.
I'm open with that now. They'll make me sing the jingle before the show starts. They'll be like, hey, we're going to need you. No, it's not going to be.
Exactly.
And maybe that's where I'll find the next Mrs. Cooper. Who knows? It's
hey, dude,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I hear those farmer girls. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Dwight, good farmer girl.
Yeah. Have you ever watched The Office?
I've watched The Office.
Dwight's farmer girl.
Oh yes.
Dwight's farmer girl.
That's green.
I like.
That's what you should go for.
Hang on a second. Let me just.
He's so cute.
Write that down really quick. FarmersOnly.com is my next stop. And you have a new single coming out soon. I understand that there's music coming.
Oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. So we actually are finalizing the final production, and that's going to be this Saturday. And we've actually cut this track with all of Sam Hunt's guys. Yeah. So I'm really excited about it because this is a totally different vibe from Do It Like. Still all in my, country pop like feel, but vibe wise, like the song it is just a straight vibe. It's a jam. Mm-hmm. And should I just go ahead and tell them what it is?
Yeah, you can tell them.
Yeah. So the song is called Neighbors. So we haven't officially announced anything yet, like on social media and stuff, but we're really excited about it because it's such a cool song. It's all about the old school mindset of when you approached people and saw people in your life and the people that surrounded you, even if you weren't super close with them and family, there was still this neighborly mindset to that. And it's just all about kind of going back to that old school mindset of being able to kind of, I guess, show a little more love and compassion to people that you don't even know, and just being able to be neighbors with people like the old days. So
very cool.
It's really cool. So I'm really excited about it. And the vibe is just, it's so killer. It's like the perfect song. Like it's the picture perfect song that you would think like of rolling your windows down and just having it jam in your car or like at the beach kind of thing. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a good one. And you know, it's funny. We have so many, we were actually talking about this today. We have so many songs in the kitty that we feel are hits. I mean, what is a hit nowadays? That we feel are jams, we'll say.
Jams.
That it was so hard for us to pick.
What?
Jams. And we'd listen and we'd be like, man, that's the one. And then the next one would come on and be like, man, that's the one.
Yeah.
No way. That is the one. And
really what moved this one in front was just the timing of everything. Just feeling like we're in such a weird time. Yeah, we're in such a weird time. It's hard to be neighborly right now because we're being told to social distance.
Right.
It's also, you know, with just a bunch of the stuff going on, not that it's necessarily like a political song, but it's just about going back to what the important thing is in this world, and it's being able to live life with love, you know? Right, exactly.
And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, people really need that kind of thing right now. They really need a positive moment in their day, you know, and that's like she said, really what moved it to the front of the list. And
besides the fact that it was like already one of our top songs, but the timing couldn't have been more perfect, you know?
And I think right now when all you can really do, not all you can really do, but we talked about driving with the windows down and having that song, you know, a song that you can play. And, you know, those songs are what make the memories, because right now going down the road with the windows down is like better than sitting at home all day, which is what a lot of people are kind of stuck doing. So I think that, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear it.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm excited to hear it too, because I haven't heard it all done yet. So,
fair.
So it should be, I believe.
So far, it's great.
Yeah, I believe Saturday is when we're going to be finalizing the track. And it's just really exciting. And then once we get an okay that we have all the track stuff that we need, then at that point we can officially kind of like do the math on when we can have a solid release date for it. So we're shooting for like the last week of August. Ideally, if we could get it a little bit sooner than that, I'd like to. With all this stuff with COVID, we've already had to push back like sessions multiple times because of people that got sick and were freaking out that it might have been COVID. And it was just kind of one of those things that, like, you know, with the circumstances of everything going on, it's been a little bit harder to get in and get music recorded. And so I'm really excited because it's been a little bit of time since I've been able to get in the studio and do something like this. And I'm really, really excited to show this one to people.
So you had the Do It Like challenge with Do It Like. How about the Neighborly challenge with neighbors?
Yeah, the challenge is to bake me a bunch of cookies and ship them to our
Steve wants cookies.
Actually, or maybe
not.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
We get all kinds of cookies up in the mail.
Maybe it's like a challenge of like who can be the best neighbor and show someone love, or who can like do something that's like the most genuine, like cool, out of the box way to show an act of love to someone, you know?
Yeah, you know, we haven't really thought about a challenge for this one, but I hope that it does inspire people to start being kind to one another. And like, kind of like we spoke up at the top, you know, there's a lot of, most of the time it takes a tragedy for people to act neighborly.
Yep.
And it'd be really nice if we could just act neighborly and not have to have a tornado rip through our neighborhood to make that happen. And
exactly.
You know, I think that's a lot of what the world is missing now, is just a little bit of love between everybody, you know, just everybody sit down and have beer with each other, or, you know,
toke one up,
whatever,
do something, do what you gotta do.
What she said, bake me some cookies.
Well, the list keeps on growing, Steve. It's like, well, have a beer, toke one up, make me some cookies, buy me some pants.
Give
me a bottle of wine with donuts
Jesslee,
on the top.
Donut wine pairing. Okay, yeah. I love all of these ideas. I think we should put them all in the hopper.
Love them. I seriously think, how cool would it be if it was just like a little tiny shop, like nothing crazy. People walked up and you literally just gave them a bottle and all the donuts were stacked on top of the wine.
Dude, that's a dream for me. Like, I had a dream about that last night.
Wow.
I also had a dream about being Maverick from Top Gun too, so we won't talk about that. But
I feel like Jesslee, you like to read, right?
What?
You like to read. Find the dream book that combination of things is in, and be like, wow, bro.
I don't know exactly what that would be
and
about.
if there is, like, if there's nothing for his weird dreams, then I'm scared. Because it's like, wow, your mind is so crazy. It's not even in the book. I don't even know where to go.
Who didn't want to be Maverick from Top Gun at some point in their life?
Hey, nobody wanted to be Goose.
Nobody wanted to be Goose because he got killed in the dumbest way possible. He didn't even die in battle. He died from an ejector seat.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Canopy didn't open fast enough. It's tragic.
That's like being Robin in Batman and Robin. Like, that's the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst straw you can draw.
Yeah, just ask Chris O'Donnell. How'd that work out for him?
Dude, his costume had latex nips on it. That was the worst. The worst.
Imagine him in wardrobe, and they're showing him his costume for the first time. He's like, wait, what?
He's like, dude, that costume's dope. And then he looks at him and he's like, oh. Like, I know if I were going to have a costume, they would have to have bat nipples.
Right.
Anatomically correct bat suit.
You know, Coop, sometimes I say things and Jess looks at me like this.
You know, it was the same look I was just giving my kid. Like,
I'm just here for the ride.
Like, she looks at me with complete love and kind of like this slight disdain and surprise sometimes. Like,
I'm completely supportive, though.
She looks like that little blonde girl meme that's always like, you know, the backstreet girl.
Like this.
Yeah. I know that I'm saying something stupid when she gives me that look.
That's all-encompassing love right there. That's
it is.
You know, wholehearted, but that was dumbass. You know, I get it. I've gotten that look.
And I respect him enough to not say it. I just look at him and I let him decide for himself.
Well,
she'll let you figure out that it was dumbass.
Listen, Coop, she probably hasn't seen the Batman movie that we're referencing to realize that the bat suit that we're referencing was the most ridiculous wardrobe choice
No,
ever.
I know which one you're talking about.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I'm not like, just because I haven't seen Star Wars doesn't mean I've never seen another movie in my life. Like,
so, like, let's talk about Batman for a minute. How come all of the Batman movies pre-Christian Bale had bat nipples?
I don't know.
Every single one of them. Back to Michael Keaton, it was like, that's a really good idea. We should definitely put that on the cast.
I think Bale went in and was like, yeah, I'll be Batman, but I have a couple of stipulations. 2 of them, actually.
Yeah.
2 stipulations. This and this come off the bat suit. Bruh.
Yeah. That's probably what happened. That's actually play-by-play.
Now we got to see
moment. That's exactly how it went down.
Okay.
Now we got to see what Robert Pattinson is going to do.
I mean, like, what an awful choice. He's definitely going to have bat nipples. I can't picture him as Batman at all. Do you think he's going to sparkle like Edward Cullen?
Hold on. This is not real life.
Yeah. Edward Cullen is Batman, is the next one.
No.
I am not even kidding. That's not a joke.
Real life.
It's COVID and Robert Pattinson as Batman.
How does that even happen?
Chickens.
How do you look at him and you're like, that is Batman?
Well, somebody was like, Twilight, that guy.
Oh my God.
That sparkly vampire child with no muscle tone is Batman.
That is.
Dude, I would bring Keaton back. That's what I would do. Michael Keaton. Bring him back.
Yeah. He was the best one anyway.
Get Jack Nicholson back to play the Joker. Back from the dead. I like all of these ideas. Again.
I like all of these ideas.
And, well, we can't have Prince do the soundtrack to this one, but if Prince were still alive, That was my favorite record in 1989 when that when that movie came out. The Batman soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Because Prince did the whole soundtrack with Danny Elfman, oddly enough. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened, but it was so great.
Yeah. Bat Dance was I think Bat Dance charted.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like,
God.
wow.
And so do you know who Danny Elfman is, right?
I don't.
He scores movies like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
He was in a band. Wasn't he in Oingo
Oingo
Boingo,
Boingo.
in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was in Oingo Boingo in the 80s. And he became like the darkest movie composer ever. He does all Tim Burton. He does all of like all these dark, just really scary soundtracks. And then there was Prince that came in and was like, wee!
Bat Dance.
And it was cool. Yeah.
It was amazing. So now that we have covered, I think we've covered almost every single topic today. Almost.
I think so too.
But
yeah. Christmas, Batman, dinosaurs, Johnny Cash, boots and hose.
Yeah, boots
with
and
an E.
hose.
With an E.
With an E.
That's pretty much it. Well, no, there's more, but I just can't remember it.
If you're Wyatt Earp,
our wine donut shop.
Now that's a good idea.
And if you're Wyatt Earp, I'm totally Doc Holliday, bro. I'm just saying.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But the Val Kilmer Doc Holliday.
Oh, there's no other.
There's no other Doc Holliday.
No.
Can you twirl your monster cup like him?
Do it. Do it.
It's got. There's no handle.
Oh, you have to glue one on there for next time.
I could, but it ended up in my lap, and well, I mean that's never happened before. No.
You want one thing before we go, Coop, because I feel like we've been taking your time. I used to be a cowboy, a singing cowboy at a theme park.
He was.
And with blanks. And so for a brief time period, I could actually straight up twirl a gun like Johnny Ringo from Tombstone.
It was legit.
I was not a cowboy, singing cowboy ever, but I will tell you this. You know those long candle lighters?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Every time I pick one up, I'm like,
yeah.
Then it goes flying and hits my kid in the eye, and he's like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Hey! Injuries are part of the game. Injuries are part of life."
Suck it up, kid. You only need one eye. You can pose for my next my beard balm.
little patch.
Yeah. Straight.
I got him a fake beard he can put around his ears, and the eye patch. I think that might be my next marketing plan.
Dude, that's a great idea.
Till social services shows up.
Just kidding.
I do need to trying to get rid of this action here.
I'm gonna send you some. I'm gonna send you some oil. I'm gonna send you some balm. And but here's what you need to do though: is you need to do it like Jesslee does when she gets stuff in the mail. You got to like put that shit on Insta.
I will put it on the Insta.
Yeah, do it. Make a badass video for it.
My friend Coop is trying to get me to grow a beard like his. Pow! Here's his beard, and then here's mine. It's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah, Jesslee, you may want to give him some pointers on how those are done because you got that shit down to a science, and that's just like boom, 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 boom.
I got you. I'll make sure he's like totally Instagramming influencer queen for you.
Yes, queen.
Those are exactly the kind of guys I'm looking for.
We did watch like 5 seasons of Queer Eye during quarantine.
Well, I love seeing the house change.
That's her favorite part is the house.
I just love those when the house. I really do.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's your favorite part?
That's my favorite part of the whole
thing. Not the emotional, physical transformation, but the house change is the most important.
Hey,
I love watching flipped or flopped, things like that.
I actually like that too. I used to like Chip and JoJo, the Chip and Joanna Gaines show.
Yeah.
Was that the TLC show?
Yeah. I think they were on TLC.
I can't remember.
Wasn't that their name?
Yes.
Chip and JoJo?
It was it was Waco, Texas. I forgot what the actual show was called, but yeah. I think
Dude,
they're still on.
you want to watch a show that is going to blow your mind?
Oh yeah, this is what we've been watching lately.
Go watch Paranormal Caught on Tape
Oh yeah,
on TLC.
Travel Channel.
Woo!
Yeah.
Travel Channel.
Woo!
I can't go to the bathroom by myself at night anymore.
Dude, that one with the school in Ireland, where like the doors fly open and the chair goes flying down the hallway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Did you see the one where the guy was just taking a video of his new home, and he's like, I don't know why the renters moved out of here so quickly and why it's so cheap. It was like he was like paying like $200 a month for rent or something. And then like he's taking a video showing people their house after like all of a sudden like the first crazy thing was it was literally infested by maggots, and then they left. And then after the maggots, he's walking around and he's like, this is my new apartment, and he's online on YouTube. And then while he's streaming, behind him, there's a shadow figure just laying in his bed. And I'm like, it's a crazy thing.
That's when she grabs my skin and like squeezes it, and I have the claw marks.
Yeah. It's all red. Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So Paranormal Caught on Video. That's going to be our...
Too, you know? I'm actually more...
Is it?
What?
I can hear it.
Are you there, Coop? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
you lagged for a little bit.
Yeah, there was lag, I think, on both ends there. So, but we're back.
You were straight frozen, bro.
That's my stoic look.
Exactly.
I try to have one of those. I just look confused.
I do that when I'm trying to get off the house party with my mom. I just stand still for like 10 seconds and don't make any noise. And then she's like,
I've actually used that trick.
I'm sorry, but every time I think of your stoic look, I think of like when you were a little heavier and he posted a photo of himself, and like everybody kept asking him if he was Asian. And I thought it was so funny.
She thinks it's so funny that everybody. Okay, so little did you know, but like for people who are just watching, Jesslee is an athlete. She's a super athlete. She's a semi-pro tennis player, nationally qualified figure competitor. So when we got together, I was overweight. She was like, "You're going to lose some weight." I said, "Okay, you know, I'm not going to argue with you because she looks like this, and I was a fatty 2x4." And so the problem was, I literally, some reason, my eyes were like little. They were like a little like swollen or something. And so people would always be like, "Oh, is your mom or dad Asian?" And I'd be like, "No, dude, I'm from North Carolina. Nobody, we don't have any of those." We had a banner one time when I was in a band named Brother Virginia, which is me and my brother.
Yeah, it was the
and it was like
look.
My brother's looking all sexy, like on one side, and then there's me that's all like, you know, the stoic look made me look like just it was the weirdest thing. And people would be like, "Oh, so you guys are half brothers because you're Asian and he's dude, I'm just fat. I'm not Asian. I'm just
there's a difference.
There's a difference."
I just thought it was so funny because I'll never forget it. He had this look, and he's like he's working it, everything, but his eyes were just so tiny, and like he posted it, and everyone was just like, "Wow, I didn't know you were Asian."
Dude, it was the weirdest thing. Like now I have a brand new stoic look, and I look like the cover of a romance novel.
Yes, you do.
Yes, there's a Fabio vibe going on, and.
Oh, wait, watch this. I bet you I can show you. Hold on. Are you ready?
Is this on Zoom?
Watch this. Do you see it?
Oh, Lord. You're a romance novel cover model. Is that lighting, or did you lighten your hair for that? That was nice. It was lighting. The lighting was good. Professional lighting.
Yeah, it was definitely good. It was actually a pro that took the picture and actually made me not look like, oh.
Made you look like you're from North Carolina.
Exactly.
Where in North Carolina? You ain't from around here. Oh. No, I promise I am from around here.
Oh, really? Born and raised.
I swear.
You guys are fantastic, and I'm so glad that during all of this crap that there's been so much good that has come out of your camp and just the way you guys are doing things. And I mean that those growth numbers. I mean that's so fantastic. That's really having and you talked about the team and having the Avengers team together. I mean that nothing proves that more than all of the good that's come out of what for some artists I'm sure is much more of a struggle than you guys have made it. But it's so awesome because you not only that, you get the clothing line, you got new music, you're hanging out with Sam Hunt's guys, and you'd be like, hey, what's up with the new track? And they're like, we don't know. And then Country Fest.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Dude, Country
Fest.
Fest.
Fun. And I appreciate that so much. Like I said, it's been this constant adaptation of just like trying to. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was just noticing how pretty those eyelashes are.
That's all right.
Stoic.
He's doing the stoic like he's like. But yeah, no, it's just been a constant adapting to what's been going on, and I feel like no matter what's been thrown our way, we've always been able to find a way to come out of it and really thrive through it right now. And I'm pretty excited for what we've been able to do during this time, especially as an indie. That's just that's the biggest part. I mean, when I say indie, I mean, I'm with a small indie label, and by choice, and like, I'm really, really proud of what they're doing. And I think it's time that someone comes in and really can show what the indie label can do and how powerful it is, and how you don't have to get yourself locked up in crazy deals that screw your life and longevity's sake. So
and just wait till you see the show we put together for Country Fest over this time too.
Yeah, the amount of time that we had, it's actually because every year we just tweak my show a little bit and we just change it up, minor things, and we have this whole new part of the show because we had planned on next year's show being different. So with it being next year, it's going to be part of next year's show. And there's just so much extra stuff that we've come up with. Like, obviously, with time invested in your craft, you just get better and better. And our team has just gotten so creative with what the show's going to be. So I'm really excited.
And I just noticed you have a Batman pin over your left shoulder.
Does he? Oh, yeah, he does.
On your wall. I didn't notice that before when we were talking about Batman. But you have a Batman pin.
Oh yeah, dude! I got.
Yeah, I did.
Watch this.
He's also sitting on Batman.
I was not expecting
that's
that.
That's kind of what I looked like when I was a fat guy with his eyes just like that. That was me. Was that not? It looks kind of like me.
It's very similar.
Very body style and everything.
If you would have had a cape on and you would have put a suit on, like, what happened to Batman?
By the way, there's no nipples on this bat suit, just so you know.
Good. I mean,
good.
That is
sounds like a fun idea.
There's like a Lego Batman over there. There's the craziest thing about like living on my own again for the first time in a very long time, like me decorating it. I mean, it's still like there's nice stuff and it's well decorated, but like all of a sudden you see like a Batman pillow, like randomly, or R2D2. We have an R2D2 and we have a BB-8, and it's just like strategically placed. It all kind of fits the like, oh, it's a really nice couch and all the TV on the wall and fucking BB-8 in the corner. Like, oh,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you remember where you procured said Batman pillow? Like, do you remember the time and date that you got him and you were like, dude, this is a good idea. I'm going to buy this for my house.
Time and date?
I don't know about time.
No, you know how like you say, man, I found this couch.
Yeah,
and it was like
he logs.
Beautiful.
He logs every purchase's time and date. As soon as he makes it, he's like 2:47 Thursday.
You see what she does? You see what she does here?
I bought a Batman pillow.
No, I'm just saying, like, what you have nice stuff around the house, and you're like, dude, this Batman pillow, this goes with my couch.
This will tie the room together.
This will tie the room together.
The dude abides. It will tie the room together.
That's what I was getting at, and then Jesslee made fun of me.
I think actually the pillow was a purchase I made eons ago, and I was located in a tote somewhere. And as I moved, I was like, here's where all my cool shit went. Like, awesome. It finally gets to come out of storage and like be Febrezed and put on display.
There you go. That's always
Hold
the
on,
best
was it the lady that didn't want it out?
Didn't go with the motif.
That's poor Steve. Now I know how you feel.
I have a lightsaber in the closet.
Hey,
He does.
see? That's where it should be for safekeeping, because you never,
It's a really nice, like the one of the guys who built the hilts for Star Wars actually made it. It's like legit, and she doesn't want to display it.
No.
Hey, it's better it's better than having to rent a storage unit for your cool stuff.
That's true.
That's true.
At least it's in the closet.
Yeah, I mean, some of the stuff was just crazy. And I was like, there's no need for this. But I was like, pick out your favorite stuff, keep it. Well, you can have a whole, once we get our bigger place, you can have a whole room to yourself, just not here.
Time out. What was the favorite stuff I got to keep out?
Yeah, to
Insinuating
keep,
she's going to let me keep it out.
No, to keep in general.
Not out, not amongst the nice things.
Coop knows. What did I just say, Coop?
You can keep it.
Yeah, and then when we get the bigger house.
Yes, the bigger house. Then you can have your own manhole.
And you can have your own space for all your knickknacks.
Ooh, they're knickknacks now. Knickknacks.
Dude.
Yes. Very manly.
They're knickknacks. I'll make sure to hang my knickknack.
They're called figurines, Mom. They're called figurines.
They're action figures, okay?
Ugh.
I don't have any action figures anymore.
Yeah, I don't either.
I can't.
I tried to collect them when the new Star Wars movies came out because I had this like toy lust from when I was a child, realizing that Boba Fett was worth like $4,000 in the package. And then I realized that everybody had the same idea as me and they really weren't worth anything. And so I had like 200 new Star, and I just gave them all to my son.
Yeah.
And now they're all open. And oddly enough, the Princess Leia, Slave Leia is missing. I don't know where she went.
The one in the bikini? Yeah, I got you. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
It's true.
I didn't do anything with her.
No, my son or something.
Your son hit her.
He's in
I
in a special place.
or somewhere. I'm like, I don't care about Slave Leia.
He's got a special place for her.
Jesslee, Steve Virginia, my faves. Thank you guys for the hang and the conversation and the awesomeness that you guys keep on going down there during all this stuff. It's inspiring, and hopefully the things that you guys are doing inspire other artists to kind of take care or take hold of their own, control their own stuff.
You can do it.
Thank
Everything's
you.
at your fingertips nowadays. So I implore everybody to think about that.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you and your friendship and just you bringing us on here and, sharing us on your platform. And, we're just really, really excited for everything. So, and we can't wait to finally see you.
Yeah, in real life. Really excited about Country Fest.
I know.
And then COVID.
I think everybody's looking forward to.
Yeah.
You obviously know if you ever come to Nashville before, then we are going to have to go do something. But if not, then 2021 Country Fest it is.
He's going to be living here in 2021.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting.
Country Fest
Before
happens.
Country Fest? You're moving?
That's the plan.
Cool. Well, just keep us posted.
So Mount Juliet, we might be neighbors.
I know you're giving me different residences to or different neighborhoods and school districts to check out, which I appreciate.
That's a good one.
It's a good spot. Yeah. You'll like it.
There are also some preliminary talks about a visit to Nashville prior to the move. So several actually.
Good.
Excellent.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Thank you again for having us on here. And we're actually literally getting off this, and then I have to go record a bunch of content because we're dropping a special version of Tom Petty Free Fallin' tomorrow. So
that's awesome.
I'm excited. So we're gonna get that done, and then and then We're just gonna try to take the rest of the night off because we've been crazy busy this week. So.
Right. But you know what that means? Steve's pants are going bye-bye.
Exactly.
Well, it's lucky I was wearing pants since I had to stand up and go to the restroom.
I am thankful. I am not only thankful for the conversation, but for that.
So is all of Twitch and the rest of social media.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Take care of one another. I know you guys will kill it, and I can't wait to see you beforehand and at Country Fest, and we'll be in touch. We'll probably jump on one of these again. I'm sure there'll be more big things coming from the Jesslee camp before too long.
Excited.
Yeah, let's do it for sure, bro. That'll be lots of fun.
Thank you for everything, Coop.
Thank you, buddy.
Awesome,
We'll
guys.
talk to you soon.
Much love.
Much love.
Later.
Bye.